Back in 2021, I put out a project called The Gym Volume 3, and I have a song on there called Generational Treasures. And I really didn't know what I was getting into, but I said the line, "Your kids are not for you." And when I really think about it, I'm like, that's really deep. And then I started going backwards and backwards, and I got to like, yo, parents are literally just farmers. We're literally just farmers. Thank you so much for tuning in to It Starts at Home channel. Thank you for coming out this Saturday. I appreciate it. We're going to talk about why your kids are for someone else. Your kids are for someone else. Listen, parents are farmers. I'm going to say that again. Parents are farmers. Your kids are the seeds. All we're doing is taking the seed, watching over it until it is fully formed, and then we're giving it to someone else. We're giving it to someone else. Just like a farmer, like if they were growing crops and selling it to restaurants and other people, or just for a local restaurant, the seeds is always typically for someone else. Okay, now sometimes it's for them. I understand that. And sometimes your kids could be for you, to help you when you get of a certain age or things like that. But there's 3 things I want to share with you today why parents are farmers. All right, so bear with me, man. Bear with me. Point number 1, you have to take care of the seed. Once you get the seed and you put it into the ground, there's certain things that you have to do to keep the seed growing. It has to have sunlight. It has to have water. If you don't give it those things, that seed will unfortunately die and no one gets to eat of its fruit. So just like a kid, you have to continue to grow your kids. You have to feed them physically and you have to feed them spiritually. Man, if you don't do those things while they're kids, that means as they grow up, they can die to a part of them that they never knew because you didn't grow it out of them. They could die to a part that could change the world one day. Who knows what they could die to, but if you don't nurture that seed while they're young, who knows what you're missing out on. Another thing you have to do is protect the seed. You have to protect the seed from pests. Like in a real seed, you have all type of animals, insects, weather, whatever can kill. Birds can all kill and harm that seed. But you gotta protect it. Kev, what I gotta protect my kids from? Bro, sis, you gotta protect them from certain friends. You gotta protect them from TV, different TV shows and stuff that comes on. And you gotta protect them from games, etc. There's a lot of things that you gotta protect them from. But you wanna continue to nurture and grow that seed and protect it so it can keep on growing. Point number 2, you gotta test your kids. So in the farmer land, they call that soil management. As the seed is growing and it's nurturing, you have to test the soil to make sure where it's growing in is good. You know what I'm saying? Because if your soil is bad, then that can kill your seed as well. So what I would compare that to is like soil management for farmers is kind of like heart management for parents. You gotta check the kid's heart. What does that mean? Check the kid's heart. You just gotta test them. Test them and put them in different situations where you can see if what you are teaching them is working and if they are gonna apply it. You gotta just put them in different situations. Whether you got them on a curfew and you say, yo, come home by 10, will they come home by 10? If you tell them to go somewhere in a car and they're driving, will they go to that one place and come back home? Different things. Just put them in the test to see what they do. That's how you test their heart. Making sure they are getting what you're teaching. You got to see where they are. You got to see where their heart is. And you can also see what you can do better as a parent. Okay, maybe my teaching style is not good. Maybe I'm not training the right way. Maybe I can do more discipline. Who knows what it might be, but you always want to test what you're giving them to make sure it's flourishing, to get to that flourishing stage. Point number 3. All right, step number 3. Once you nurture the seed, once you check and test and do soil management on the heart, the next thing is harvesting. It's harvest time, baby. It's harvest time. It's time to pick them seeds up, and it's time to wash them off. Not even wash them off. It's time to get them all set up, get them to the supplier. It's time to get them to, so for a farmer, you will get them to local restaurants, you'll get them to grocery stores. Your kids are going to be shipped out, whether it's going to college, whether it's partner getting married. Like, your kids are going to live a life, working somewhere. They're going to do life with other people. So you got to make sure that the seed that you nurtured and the seed at their heart is ready to be in that world. Like, is your kids going to be a blessing to someone else, or are they going to be harmful? Sometimes you can get a seed that didn't get all the right things growing up, and you get that fruit that could be harmful, or that fruit or that vegetable, and that could be harmful for you. And you eat it and you get sick. Imagine that. Imagine a farmer doing all that work and then do the right stuff, selling these restaurants bad veggies and fruit and things like that, and then somebody gets it and gets sick. Is that our kids? Is that my kids? Is somebody else who's going to interact with them? Are they going to be a blessing? Are they going to be a curse? Are they going to be a blessing? Are they going to be harmful? Which one are they going to be? So parents, I encourage you, train up a child in the way they should go, and it will not depart from them. Just like we got to train that seed, we got to nurture that seed. The same thing, train, you got to nurture. You got to walk with them. You got to be with them as they're young. As they get older, those ways, they will learn ways, and it'll be hard to break out of stuff. So you got to do it young, while they still seedlings, before they start budding. So I would encourage the parents, we are farmers. All right, we are farmers. Let's sow our seeds in the right ground. Let's pray for our kids that have the right hearts. Let's test their hearts, and let's get ready to ship them out and be blessings. All right. I hope this was helpful. Thank y'all for tuning in again to It Starts at Home channel, and we will catch y'all next Saturday. Comment, like, share if this is a blessing to you. We'll see y'all next Saturday. Peace out.